Hey guys, welcome to another video from Digital Omelette, and today it's a twofer. We're looking at two books, both of them in the action genre. Now, both of these books are from iconic action writers. The first one is Lee Child, who writes Jack Reacher, and the second one is David Baldacci, who keeps writing recurring characters, and this time he's creating a new one. Let's look at the Jack Reacher book first. This is the 23rd book in the Jack Reacher series. If you haven't heard of Jack Reacher before, he is basically an ex-MP who is large and imposing, and he wanders around America. And in the course of his wanderings, he encounters situations which he is forced to solve, usually with a combination of both his brains and his brawn. Jack Reacher has been an excellent series up to about the first 15 to 18 books. In the last 3 or 4 books, it's been on a downward trend. Now let's see whether Past Tense is any better. After reading it, I find that Past Tense is actually an okay-ish Jack Reacher. I was never drawn into it, unlike the earlier ones in the series. This could be because Jack Reacher has outstayed his welcome. As the series progresses, you tend to see that Jack Reacher becomes more and more of a superhero. I mean, he can basically destroy people at the whim, and he's stealthy, he's strong, he can bring down special ops people, he can bring down CIA assassins. This was fine in small doses in the earlier books, but the last 3 or 4 books I have read, like I said before, what is happening is Jack Reacher is basically undefeatable. A problem with this kind of ability is that there is no real tension, because you know that in any situation, Jack Reacher is going to come out on top. And I think Lee Child is also aware of this, because one of the things he's done in this story, which I think is the first time in the series, though I might be wrong, is created 2 separate story threads. One of them is Jack Reacher, who is going to explore what happened to his father, and the second one is about a couple who gets lost in a cabin in the woods. I think Lee Child has used this device because with a couple in the woods, it is much easier to build up the tension, and you don't know what's going to happen, so on and so forth. With Jack Reacher, you know he's going to beat everybody down. So what happens is, these are actually 2 disparate threads, but they meet at the end, and their meeting is also not seamless. The meeting seems forced, just to make this a Jack Reacher book. My take on it is, like I mentioned before, Lee Child knows that the tension is going away from his books. He's basically used all the plot points that he could have used with Jack Reacher, and now he's trying to inject new lives into the series. I am not very hopeful that the series is going to get better, though I hope Lee Child moves me wrong. Let's move on to the next one. This is by another author that I love, David Baldacci. David Baldacci has written a lot of great books, Absolute Power, the Will Roby series, so on and so forth. This is a new character that he's created here, Atlee Pine, and the book is called The Long Road to Mercy. After reading it, I feel in need of some. The first chapter started off quite well, but after the first chapter, what happens is the story completely pivots and does a 180 degrees. This story that is coming across is full of all the action thriller tropes. There's an FBI agent who is dealing with intrigue in an organization. There are people out to kill her. There's a military industry complex that is trying to do some stuff. You have weapons of mass destruction. Stuff that we have seen and done and dusted before. David Baldacci has been on a downward swing, and Long Road to Mercy also does not change this pattern. The one thing that gives me hope for this character is, with some of his characters, David Baldacci has started off very slow, and then in the 2nd, 3rd and 4th book, the characters have become quite strong. And my hope is this will happen in the Long Road to Mercy series also. And I also hope that Mr. Baldacci explores what happens in the chapter 1 and takes it further, because that is way more interesting than other stuff that happens. I hope you enjoyed these 2 reviews. If you liked it, please give me a thumbs up. Please subscribe. Please leave comments. Thank you once again for watching.